I'm excited. I love this feature.
Indeed, the first Wednesday of every month we do our dream team where we look at your dreams and what they might mean. So we've got a legend on tonight. He is going to tell you, translate your dreams. We'll speak to Ian Wallace in just a moment. The number, if you want to get in touch, let us know your dreams and get them interpreted. 81777 on the text. Your standard rate will apply. Or you can WhatsApp us on 030 30 80 55 55. Remember, don't get in touch if you're not listening live tonight. If you're not, drop us an email, metime@bbc.co.uk. Does country music count
As what?
for dreams?
But I'm excited because it's Wednesday. It's the first Wednesday of the month. It is time for the Dream Team. And we have in our presence the great dream psychologist Ian Wallace. He's here. Hiya, Ian.
Hi, Kate. Thanks for that lovely intro. And hi, Vinny. And hi to all our lovely dreaming listeners.
The Dream Boats.
Indeed. The Dream Boats. We missed a trick naming this programme. Let's start with the first one. Do you want to read out Penny's dream?
Yes, Penny says, I keep having a dream where I've gone back to university, but I can't remember what I'm supposed to be studying. Nor have I been to any of the lectures, although I know exams are imminent. All the while, I remember that I, in fact, in real life, have a long-standing job where I'm well qualified. So I don't really know why I've gone back to university. But I have this fear that I don't know anything anymore and I'll fail the exams. What's it all about?
Yes, so this is a lovely dream from Penny. This is the fifth most common dream, being unprepared for an exam. And because we create the dream doesn't happen to us, we happen to the dream. This dream's about no one is setting you an exam, Penny, apart from yourself. And people who have this dream tend to judge themselves quite hardly, and they judge themselves quite harshly as well. They tend to be quite self-critical. And what you might be tending to do in waking life, Penny, is you quite often subject yourself to this critical level of self-examination, and you're maybe a bit of a perfectionist. So the action from this dream, instead of always trying to judge yourself and thinking, oh, I could have done that better, I could have done this better, is just to think about and reflect on what makes you happiest and most fulfilled in life, and what you've achieved and the kind of personal development test that you've passed, rather than always giving yourself a hard time and immersing yourself in some form of self-examination.
Oh, so it's a message from our subconscious to say, stop giving me a hard time.
Yeah, take it easy. Yeah. Take it easy.
Good, that's nice.
Cherry says, I have dreams several times a week that my teeth are falling out. Now, we've done that one plenty of times, so we'll maybe come to that later if we can. But Cherry has a different one where she says, once a week, I have a dream that I'm losing my vision or it is blurred. It's like I can see, but not fully.
Yeah, so the typical woo-woo interpretation of this dream would be, oh, you need to go and have your eyes tested. But the reality is that the dream is never about the physical thing, it's about what that emotional thing means. So if you dream that your vision is becoming blurred, as Cherry's doing, is there's some situation in your waking life that you need to make clearer. You need to get a clearer idea of what's going on in a situation. You maybe need to focus your actions and ambitions to bring that more into focus for yourself. And so the action from this dream is focusing on some specific action you can do to bring something and make it clearer for you. And because we work a lot with language and linguistic imagery and working with dreams, it's quite interesting that the French word for a lens is objectif. And so in this dream and in waking life, you really need to be more objective about what you're trying to do and really focus on that objective and make it happen for yourself.
Ooh, I'm sure that would be very helpful.
Yes, hopefully that does ring a few bells for you.
I know.
Cherry, thanks for your message.
Heather says, last night I dreamt about seeing new neighbours in the house next to me, which is up for sale right now.
Yeah, so when we dream about, again, because we create the dream, we create all the characters in it. And although the house being up for sale next door might have triggered this, then what a neighbour actually represents, what a neighbour symbolises, it's about being able to set some boundaries in your personal relationships, to have that kind of fence between you and the place next door. And it's being comfortable in setting those boundaries in your personal relationships so you can accommodate your needs. And the house being up for sale, anytime something is up for sale, it's always about your feelings of self-worth. So maybe the best way to feel more valuable and have some more self-respect, which is always wonderful to have, is just set some personal boundaries and think about your own needs first rather than looking after the needs of other people.
It's fascinating. If you've got a dream for Ian, now is the time. Don't wait until we come off air. We'll do one more and then we'll take a break for another song, Ian, if that's okay. This
Yes.
person says they have a dream that they look out their window and they see a horse grazing a bush in the backyard. Now, the neighbour then appears petting the horse. This person says, I have a new gardener with a big mouth and long horsey hair. Could that be the connection? That's making quite a literal connection. Someone that looks a bit like a horse and seeing a horse in their dream.
Yeah, well, it can be because we can take what we see in waking life, like having the house next door up for sale, and then we weave that into our dream. But it's never about that thing. It's about some connection that we are making. And it's always good to go back to what the fundamental symbolism means. So what a horse symbolizes is the dreamer's ability to harness their unconscious strength. Anytime we dream about an animal, it's about a creature, it's about our creativity, it's about our ability to take something that we do intuitively and instinctively. And for a horse, it's the ability to harness that natural power to drive forward with some ambition. So, and the gardener maybe being a bit loud-mouthed, the dreamer's picking up on that, and it suggests that in waking life, they maybe need to speak up a bit more about their talents and not to be a loudmouth or brash or overconfident.
I think what they're referring to the big mouth is in literally a big mouth. I think.
So do you think he's got a wide mouth?
Yeah.
Yes. Not a chatterbox, but physically.
Well, it can be both because that's the ambiguity in dreams. And so if someone, when I heard the phrase big mouth, then I think, well, it could be that, the person, the gardener, does have a big mouth and maybe he's got gum recession, maybe looks a bit like a horse and all those sorts of things.
Poor gardener.
No wonder this is anonymous.
But the suggestion would be that when you're trying to harness your unconscious, instinctive, intuitive energies, you think, well, it's just a gut instinct and I should really go with facts and so on. But then, sometimes you need to speak up about that and maybe speak to other people about it. So we need to explore that one a bit more with the dreamer to find out the nature of the gardener's mouth.
I'm intrigued, to say the least.
Yes.
Ian, stay there for us if you can. That's okay. Ian Wallace, our dream psychologist. You have another 5 minutes or so if you'd like to get your dream in and hear what Ian has to say about it.
We have Ian Wallace with us. This is the Dream Team. It's the first Wednesday of the month, and Ian has been giving us amazing insight into dreams. We have more, Ian. You're still there? So this next one, there's no name on this one either. It says, I am dreaming a lot of my dad recently. His first anniversary is coming up soon. He doesn't say anything. There's another person there, but they don't have a face.
This is the 20th most common dream. It's dreaming of a loved one who is no longer with us. And again, because we create the dream and we create all the characters in it, it's not really about the dreamer's father. It's about the quality that they associate with their father. So the question for the dreamer to ask themselves is, what is the one quality that they associate with their father? So it might have been that he was very loving, he was very nurturing, he was really intelligent or really sociable. Whatever that quality is, they now have the opportunity to express that quality themselves in waking life. And in doing so, they will embody their loved one who's no longer with us. And in that way, the loved one continues to live on.
This one might be linked in some way. This one says, I have a reoccurring dream about my dead mother who died 5 years ago. In the dream, I discover she isn't dead, but she is alive. I am so happy, but then I wake up and realise it's just a dream and I feel so sad. And this is a reoccurring dream for this person.
Yeah, so there is that sense of loss, but again, as in the previous dream, it's the qualities that the dreamer associates with their mother is, is living on within that person in waking life. So even though they feel sad when they wake up, they just need to think whatever that quality was. So their mother was maybe very caring or very loving. How can I care more in my waking life? How can I be more loving towards my family? And in doing so, then, although it is sad that they're no longer physically with us,
Yeah.
we still maintain those qualities and embody them.
It's funny, but because I guess in some ways when you dream, it's an escapism and you can experience things when you're dreaming that you never could in real life, whether that is flying or being with someone that's no longer there. It seems a little bit unfair in some ways, Ian, but that's it's the way it is.
Well, in some ways it is escapism, Vinny, but as we've covered before and explored before, the fundamental process of dreaming, the reason why we dream is to process our deeper emotions. So in doing so, although it might seem like an escape and it's just kind of over, the dream, we do carry the dream and all the processing we've done into the next day and our subsequent days.
It's so fascinating talking to you, Ian. I have another one here. Now, this is, there's no name on this one. I have a recurring dream that I move like a gazelle, bounding longer, further and higher. Gets to the point where I can lucidly focus and remain airborne for longer. I can then gently lift friends with the slightest of touch and take them on flights. The more I wake, the harder it is to stay airborne.
The more I wake, the harder it is to stay airborne. And we should say as well, there's another maybe 2 or 3 about people that feel that they can dream, they can fly in their dreams. So I don't know if that is a thing that links all this together, Ian.
Yeah, it is, Vinny. It's the 6th most common dream, flying. And again, working with language, if we're in a situation that seems quite serious, we talk about the gravity of the situation. Or if we are doing something quite onerous in waking life, we talk about being burdened or having to shoulder a burden. So when we dream about flying, when we create that dream, there's something in our waking life where we feel released from some obligation or commitment, or we've achieved something. It's very common amongst creative people. When you have been creating something, some creative project, and you complete it, very often you have that feeling of release, that you are no longer obliged to keep going with it. And often in the flying dream, it starts off with running, that you're running along, that you're getting someplace, and then you're going higher and higher and higher. And it may be that you're a gazelle or an antelope or a wildebeest or whatever to do that. But as you go higher and higher, then you're releasing yourself and you're opening up to that creative freedom and that liberation.
Another one here with a name on it, Ian. This one says, I have a dream in which I can't breathe and I feel very panicked. Obviously not a very pleasant dream for anyone.
Yeah, that can be certainly a scary dream. And it may be some environmental features. It may be that your bedroom's a bit stuffy or that you have too many bedclothes on or things like that, and it's really affecting your breathing. It may be something called sleep apnea, where your breathing passages get obstructed when you're sleeping. But it's far more likely from a symbolic perspective that what's happening is there's something in your waking life that's either making you feel anxious, so you've got that shallow breathing. So you need to be able to step into that uncertainty. And often the best way to do that is by speaking up and just saying what you need. And that's the other thing that this breathless dream can mean symbolically, is you just need to tell people what you need and not be shy about doing that.
Oh, good messages in this tonight. This one's from Diane. She says, I dream about a room and I can't get into this room. It's beautiful, but always there's people preventing me or things preventing me. I've had this dream very often. The last time it was really high up and people were fighting me.
All right. Yes. So in this one, this is going to sound quite unusual, but this is the 88th most common dream.
No,
People-
no,
How do
Ian,
you
no,
know?
you do that. I think he's baiting us with that. He thought, I wonder how far I can push
Tell us
this.
anything.
Yes.
These will not
This is-
know. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so it's the 88th most common dream. And this one where there's a room that you're trying to get into, or there's lots of people around, it's the uninvited guest dream. And what a room symbolises, a room's part of a house. The house is the number one dream symbol. It represents you, your identity. And the room in the house is an aspect of your identity. So it suggests that the dreamer is something in waking life where they are trying to express some part of their identity, maybe learn something new, maybe do something new, maybe be with someone new. And they've got too many other commitments, which are symbolized by the uninvited guests. And it's stopping them from actually having the time to do something that they really want to do, that's really valuable and really personal and exciting for them. So the action from this dream is, again, it's like the dream where you have to set those boundaries and accommodate your own needs first, rather than rushing around looking after the needs of all these other uninvited guests in your dream.
Thank you. So I've had one recently that I would like to know about, because I've dreamt about Vinny again.
This is a reoccurring thing for you, isn't it?
This is the second time I've had a dream about you.
Well,
Anyway, so I dreamt that Vinny and I went on an airplane to Australia. And when we got to Australia, there were lots and lots and lots of spiders. And they were really like massive, like the size of dinner plates. And we were kind of like brushing them up. So we were kind of like brushing them on the floor. Now, I'd have been way out of the room in real life. But in the dream, I was scared of the spiders. But we decided between us that we would think of them as being like crabs. And then we weren't as afraid of them.
Right. So the previous dream was 88. This one's 77. This is the 77th most common dream. Not going to Australia on an airplane with Vinny, but the spider dream is the 77th most common dream. So anytime you dream about Vinny, it's the quality that you associate with Vinny, whatever that might be, professionally.
spiders.
Spiders.
You're not the spider.
Could be Spider-Man, it could be Spider Vinny. But the aeroplane is some sort of project. It's something you've got off the ground and you're trying to land safely someplace. So it's some project or plan or idea. And it's probably nothing to do with Vinny. It's just the quality you associate with him. And what a spider represents is a set of relationships, probably professional relationships, or it could be personal ones, that you feel a bit entangled in, that you feel that you need to break free from in some way, because they are holding you back. And it's maybe some relationships or connections you've built up over the years, and you think, I don't need to behave in that way anymore. I can go beyond these sorts of relationships I'm having. And it's probably a dream about your professional life, Kate, where you think you can develop much, much more and step up much more and get some idea or plan that you have off the ground and break free from some past ways of thinking about yourself.
Can I just say, right, this is where radio lets you down slightly, because your expression, Kate Conway, is that Ian Wallace has just looked into your soul. Never mind your dream.
Well, your expression was you sat back in your chair and folded your arms. I'm like, yes. I was like, oh my goodness. I know what it is every time you interpret a dream for us. There's always something, the symbolism or something that spans out to other people. So lots of people are having a dream about a spider or having a dream about any of these things.
There's things that link them all together. And we're almost out of time, but just to highlight that we're going to be doing a special nightmare recording with Ian about nightmares that you might have. So if you want to send them in, we're almost off air, so email them in. So it's me time, M-E. And someone was emailing last week, M-E-E.
Oh, yeah.
Because they eventually forwarded it on. So me time is in you and me at bbc.co.uk. Should we ever be worried when we have nightmares, Ian? You know, can it be a signal, an indication of something else?
No, people make this false dichotomy between dreams and nightmares. But all a nightmare is a dream where you're processing so much deeper emotions. So it becomes very, very powerful and very healthy to engage with your nightmares. And I spend a lot of my time with my clients doing that, actually working with nightmares.
But sometimes they just stay with you the rest of the day, and they can change like so much of how you move forward in the day. They're just like, they're terrifying sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the emotional part, Kate, because it suggests that the emotion you've been processing, because we quite often wake ourselves up from a nightmare and that processing part isn't over, or we haven't engaged with it in the dream, which is something we can do and we can speak about when we do the special on nightmares.
Ian, it's been lovely, as
Thank
always.
you.
Informative, a little bit scary, but that's more your area of expertise, not a reference to you personally.
And just before we go, on the subject of country songs about dreams, classic one, 1963, Patsy Cline, Sweet Dreams.
Ian, thank you. And next time we have Ian on, we'll have to do that.
We'll play that song for you, Ian.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you very much for listening tonight.